If you're looking for something to transport your live bait in, then you want to stick around because we're going to do a review on the Magellan wet dry box on this episode of Hack to Fish. Alright guys, a lot of y'all see my videos and I've made some DIY bait buckets. One, we used that. It was powered by solar power for you to see your bait at night so you wouldn't turn your headlamp on and wasting batteries. The other one had a filtered system in it. I'm going to put both these videos up top if you don't feel like paying this for this. But before you discriminate how much this costs, I done some research online and I found some coolers from $39.99 even up to $249 depending on what you order. But all these coolers don't do what this cooler does. And I'm gonna show you how special this is on each one of these points on this cooler. It's going to make it easier for you to transport. It's not really that expensive. And I've already tested it for about 3 days with some bait in it. So, I'm going to get in here in the ground right after this and show you what all comes with this cooler. Right after this. Alright guys, this is the Magellan Outdoors product. It is a 30-quart bait dry box. I've been using this for about 3 days and I'm really impressed. It comes standard with 4 places to put your drinks, lid locks on it. It seals in here. So if you have transported in a vehicle instead of a truck, this should keep most of the water out of here. Now, what comes with the box is you get a tray up top. I'm going to explain what I've been thinking here in a minute, later on at the end of the video, of what I want to do with the tray and everything. But this lid right here, it locks down, seals, even your handle right there kind of locks down in place. Also comes a strap in case you get too much ice, too much bait or something. Helps you lift it. And it has 4 rod holders. Now, I don't in particular use rod holders on a cooler to hold my rod there, but these do come in handy. Let me give you one example. Where I catfish at, you can catch skipjack. Alright. Sometimes there's not very many places that you can prop your rod up against or something like that. And sometimes, every once in a while when somebody ain't paying attention, they step on your rods. But this accommodates short rods. Right there. But if you want to put a catfishing rod on here, see this right here? The bottom of this moves so you can accommodate longer rods. This way they set farther down. So maybe you have a casting rod. You want to put the clicker on. Put the clicker on. I don't know how good it will set, but it will hold the rod. Now, moving on to the lid part. You have a measuring guide on top of your lid, centimeters down at the bottom, inches up top, goes to 12 inches. Maybe your lake has a restriction on how long you can keep a fish. You can just lay it right here on a cooler. Now, this lid right here, it hinges pretty good, but if you turn it around back, you can unlock this back part and you can just take the lid off. Maybe you want to throw bluegills in it instead of having to open the lid all the time. You can just take the lid off, you can throw them in there. There's a place on each side for your bubble box that hangs right below where your strap right here goes in. But it has one thing that a lot of other coolers does not have. There's a hole right here in the side. This hole right here is for your oxygen tank. Now, if you look inside, when you're not using that oxygen tank with your air bubble or your bubble box, you can take this plug right here and plug it in, and that should keep water from coming out. No drilling or anything, no DIYs. But we'll get to that later on about improving what I think things should be improved on it. On the other side, you have a drain plug, so you don't have to pick it up, pour it out, drain the fish out. This also makes it easy for when you're have to clean your cooler out. Instead of spraying it out, tipping it over, spraying it out, tipping it over, you can just pull the drain plug out like this, spray it out, and it'll run out. Then all you have to do is wipe it out. Now, let's get to transporting. I've noticed some of my other DIYs in the back of the truck, they slide on my bed really, really easy. And I end up losing bluegills. Sometimes I lose all of them, because the bucket slides around and everything gets wet, my cheers get wet. Well, this cooler slash bait box has rubber stops on the bottom of it. Now, we hauled this thing all over Knoxville. On a boat, in a truck. We haven't tried it in a car yet, but I'm sure to get there. But with these rubber stops on the bottom of this, it never moved. Not one time. If you know anything about going through Knoxville, there's a lot of braking, there's a lot of speeding. Sometimes there's a lot of cussing. But that's just the way it is sometimes. People would just get mad and tempers flare, and that's just the way it is. But we had to slam on our brakes a couple of times, and with these rubber stops on here, this cooler never moved, it never flipped over, never lost any water, and I think that's awesome. Now, Let's say you want to cut bait. You open your cooler, get you something live out, get your knife, you're done with your knife. There's a place right here to put your knife on the side so you ain't laying it down everywhere. That's pretty bad. You lay it down and all of a sudden your wife or your kids are running around and they lose a toe. Fishing trip's going to be cut short. But overall, I like his spots. It's $59.99 at Academy Sports. And you just about can't even buy a cooler anymore, a real good cooler, for $59. You really can't buy a good dry, wet box to put your live bait in for under $59. I looked at the Engel bait cooler like this and it was $119. But all in all, this is an awesome deal. Now, the things I would change about this cooler, cause you know I'm a hacker, I like improving things, is if you're in a hot place, you're not going to put anything in this. I would drill some small holes right here and I put ice in this tray so it drips cool water down here to your fish and keeps your fish lively, cool all day long. It has been proven that ice helps fish survive in the summer. Another thing I would change, if I could write the company and everything, is I wish there was a cutting board in this lid right here, because there's no padding in there. If there's no padding, why not just replace it with a cutting board? And then when you take the back of your lid off, you can set it down, you can cut your cut bait on this cutting board right there. I think that would be awesome. Let me know what kind of ideas you have about this, or some that they could change that you think would be the better. Now, getting to the performance of this cooler. Like I said, me and my wife caught about, I'd say it's about 14 or 15 bluegills, and got some water, put it in the cooler. We kept the same water in here for 3 days. It's around 80-some degrees. I didn't change the water out. Kept a battery in a bubble box. Fish were lively as the day that we caught them. They did awesome in here. I didn't get $59 for this. My wife did. She bought it for me for my birthday. Also, she bought me this Abu Ambassador Catfish Special. I've never had a new one. So, hopefully, get to use these two a little later more. I can give you some more ideas about how good this is. But for right now, I'm really happy. And this is an awesome way to keep your bait. Easy to carry. Extra strap for weight. Non-skid bottoms. Like I said, it stayed in the back of the truck. It did not move going down the road or when we tried to stop. Now, if you have a live well bait bucket that you have bought from the store, you want me to look at or compare it to this one, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Give me a like button if this helps you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel down there at the Hack to Fish symbol at the bottom. And it will take you right to subscribing. Now, if you want to discuss some things on Facebook, I also have a Facebook group called Hack to Fish. Join the group, share ideas with everybody. give some ideas to some people, help your fellow fishermen make things easier for them. That's what this is all about. Hopefully, I get my wife fishing a little bit more. I'd love to get her on video catching a good size, any catfish really. But, till again, this is Hack to Fish with the Magellan dry bait box cooler. And keep on doing what you love and loving what you do. This is Hack to Fish, and I am out.